Welcome back to Superhuman Customs, everybody. I'm Stephen Human. Now, I've lied to you several times in the past. Now, the first time I lied to you was when we started doing the Flash movie figures, and I said I was just going to do the Batman figure, the Ben Affleck Batman figure, this one that you're looking at right now. And then the very next week, I did the Supergirl figure, and I said that was going to be the last one. And then I lied again because the next week I did the Michael Keaton unmasked Batman that you see here. And then I said for sure that was the last one I was going to do. And that obviously at this point was a lie because I got the Flash because I decided to do a shelf with movie figures. I had a couple of them and I wanted to get the Wonder Woman, which you guys saw last week. And I decided that, well, I'll get the Flash. So I did, and now I'm going to get more of these movie figures because I like them. Well, with the Flash movie coming out this weekend, I figured I would do this guy. Now, all we're going to do is, so they released two versions of this dude. One of them is this one, which is just the standard like cherry red, and the other one's a little bit more muted. And the muted one looks way better. Now, after what I did with Wonder Woman last week with the wash, I decided I'm going to do the same thing with this Flash. So at this point, that's all I'm planning on doing. We might play around a little bit, I'm not sure, but we're gonna see if we can just kind of add some texture to him because it looked so good on the Wonder Woman. Like the reds just turned out so beautiful. So that's what we're gonna do. Nice and simple to celebrate the Flash movie, which I am very excited to see. I like how this Flash turned out. I like his new suit, the fact that it's more streamlined. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use our Vallejo Game Wash. This is what you use, it's a dipping formula is what they call it. So you can take your minifigs from Dungeons & Dragons, you can dip them. For me, this is by far the best wash I've ever used, and I really, really like it. So we're just gonna go around here and we're gonna cover them. Now remember, you don't want this to bead up, so you wanna keep it moving. You wanna get a little bit on the brush and just keep moving. And I'm going to try and avoid the symbol because I want this symbol to stay nice and bright. And I'm not going to use too much because I do not want it to get in the gold. Some of it will, obviously. It's a wash for Pete's sake. But I don't want it to get in to the gold. I don't want those to become black lines. I want them to stay there gold. So I'm just going to try and do a little bit and then just move it all over. And this is a textured suit. So he's got some texture. He's not just a flat sort of deal. You feel him with your fingers and it's like, oh, he's got some texture. And so I really think that this is going to make this guy pop. And again, this is a super easy custom job. Anything that you're just doing wash on is going to be really easy. There's not going to be a lot to it, except you're just going to have to pay attention and keep moving everything around. For the head and everything, you've got to really pay attention, and you can't be afraid to move your finger in there and get it so that it's not beating up, because you don't want it to have a whole bunch of dots all over it. And you can start to see the difference on the legs here. It's just adding enough life to it to make it stand out, just like with the Wonder Woman. There's a reason they call using washes liquid talent, because it does accent everything. It makes you look like you're better at this stuff than you actually are. So it's a wonderful tool. Use it, and it'll make all of your characters just kind of bounce a little bit more. It'll make them pop on the shelf. Some don't need it, but you can see that with this guy and with that Wonder Woman, they didn't need it. They were bright and shiny, but it just adds a realism to them that you can't get really any other way. And it's such a simple, simple tool. Don't be afraid to do it. You can get this wash on Amazon, for 10, 15 bucks or whatever. It will last you for 20 years. There's so much in there that it's kind of insane. And it doesn't take much, but this is the best. I've used that Nuln oil when I first started, and that stuff just wasn't as good. It would get you a good coverage, but it took a long time to dry. It beat it up. I've got a Batman, that's my favorite Batman, that I am disappointed with because of that. And this one just is much, much better. Honestly, since I've got the washout, I decided to do a little bit Superman too. I had painted him, obviously, in that one episode, but I didn't do much wash on him. And now I'm seeing how good this does. Just adding it to his cape a little bit here, a little bit just to accent his muscles under here. And I added a little bit to his face. And just like with the Flash, what I've done is I've just kind of gone through and put it on and then wiped, and it's worked out pretty well. But I really want to just accent this stuff. It's looking pretty good. Get your wash out, start playing with figures. And here we go. The Flash is finished. He looks much more like the more muted version that I like, and the muscles now are very heavily highlighted. It just adds a realism to him that you can't get any other way than by doing a wash. And it's really, really easy, as you've seen. There's not a lot of skill involved, but it makes a huge difference, particularly on figures that don't need much else. So get some wash, it's cheap, it'll last you forever, and you can do this on every figure if you want. Like seriously, you can accent muscles, you'll get very, very good at it the more you experiment. So get out there and experiment. I'm Stephen Human, Superhuman Customs. Check out StephenHuman.com if you want to learn more about my novels, my sci-fi thriller novels. They are awesome, you will love them. Check them out, and I will see you guys next week.